Hey, I'm Geeky Pastimes, and in today's video I wanted to help out people who were returning to Destiny 2 or just starting out of Destiny 2 with how to increase your light level. Now, I've been streaming quite a lot of Destiny lately, and I've had this question a bunch from people who want to get into Destiny but find the whole light level thing kind of confusing, because obviously you need a higher light level to be able to do some things like, raids are the big one, or nightfalls and things like that. But how you actually increase it seems to be very, very difficult to understand, and especially like how to increase it efficiently. So in this video, like, I'm not a sort of Destiny expert, I'm just someone who's been playing it a lot lately. I'm going to explain how to do this, and all of this and all of the numbers especially apply to the current season of Destiny 2, so season 15. All of the numbers might sort of go up a little bit with each season, because they constantly increase the cap a tiny bit just to kind of give you a little bit extra to work towards. So we'll head into the game and I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. So this is my Destiny character. I have a hunter. And if I go into the inventory, you can see that my power level, which is your light level, is 1332. Now, this is a little bit of a misleading number because it's actually made up of two smaller numbers. If you can see in the window, it says my gear score is 1322, and then I've got a plus 10 bonus. So I'll very quickly explain what that bonus is about, and then we'll just completely forget about it. So the plus 10 bonus is all based on my artifact level, and this is something that you get at the beginning of every season. At the beginning of every season, you get one of these artifacts. This time it's called the Wayfinder's Compass, and you level this thing up by getting XP. So any experience you get, anything you do in game, killing enemies, completing crucible matches, handing in quests, doing bounties, everything like that, you get experience for it, and then that will level this up. Each time you level it up, you get an extra sort of number, an extra 1 added to it, which will increase your overall power level. So you can see there, I've got 12 out of 12 artifacts unlocked, so I've completed that side of it, but my power bonus is plus 10. Now, there's no cap on this just keeps on going up, but it takes longer and longer to get to like the next XP thing. So realistically, it's going to eventually kind of get to the point where you just don't have time to level it up anymore. But yeah, so I'm getting an extra 10 power score from that. Now, if I go back to my inventory, that means the 1322 is gear, and then plus 10 is the artifact score, which adds up to 1332. Now, that 1322 gear score is basically an average of all of the different pieces of gear I've got on at the moment. Not including the ghost, I didn't need to show you that bit. Now, Destiny is quite clever about the way it works it out. That current power level is the one for the guns that you've got equipped. So if I find something that has a much lower thing, like this Nightwatch scout rifle, I haven't infused to anything yet. If I equip that, you can see my power level goes down dramatically because that's lowered the average so much. And then if I put it back up, say putting on the new exotic, it goes back up. Now, everything I'm talking about later, where I talk about what your level is and what sort of rewards you're getting, that's not actually the gear that you've got equipped. That's the gear you have. The game is always working out what's your maximum theoretical light level if you equipped all of your best gear, and then it rewards you based on that, which is a good thing, because it means that you can use guns that aren't necessarily your highest light level while you're trying to progress your gear. So say if like the best thing you've got, say my energy weapon there, if that was the best possible item that I had for that slot, but I didn't really want to use a grenade launcher, that's okay. I can pick something that's lower. I could like go and say, oh, I'm going to use this SMG instead. Even though that's lowering my overall power score, that doesn't really matter because the game is still counting my sort of theoretical maximum power score as the one that it gives you. Keeping up, good. It's like fairly simple so far. Like, to be honest, even though it sounds more complex than it really is, all this really means is that all of these bits of gear have a number associated with them, and then the average of that is your power score. In general, you do want to have like your best gear equipped because your power score basically changes how much damage you do to enemies. So if enemies are like 10 power score above you, you're going to do a lot less damage to them. There's going to be a modifier that reduces the amount of damage to them, and they will do more damage to you. If you're above them in power score, then you're going to do more damage to them, and they'll do less to you. So obviously, for any content, you really want to be as high power as possible. Now, there are some exceptions where it just doesn't matter. So things like Crucible and Gambit, it doesn't matter at all. They balance out your power level, so really you just want to put in the guns that you feel most comfortable using. Their power score doesn't matter. And then within that, there's exceptions, like when Iron Banner comes around, your power score does matter again, so you need to use high power weapons to do that. but generally you want to have stuff equipped that's the highest power. When you're leveling up, you can equip the stuff that's kind of highest power just to get through all the content. And if you find a weapon, say that you find like some weapon that's quite low down, like going back to that scout rifle I had, if you find something and you think, okay, I really, really like this scout rifle, but it's rubbish, just hold on to it. There's no point in fusing it to raise its power level while you're still leveling up. Just hold on to it, keep it on. You can still use it for stuff like Crucible, that's absolutely fine. But then when you finally do get to your maximum power level or your maximum light level, then you can do something called infusion, where basically you go into the weapon details, go to this thing, which is the infuse item, and then you can pick another gun and it will destroy that gun. It has to be an item of the same type. So helmets can be done with helmets, chest pieces can be done with chest pieces. You'll destroy that item, but then make the power level of this one whatever the one was that you destroyed. So say I could, if I wanted to infuse this, I could look at a weapon like this and say, okay, I don't really want this pulse rifle, this doesn't really matter. I can dismantle that, it'll cost an upgrade module, and then that'll raise the power level of this. Because it does cost an upgrade module, which is a resource that, you know, costs quite a lot to make, you don't really want to do this constantly. That's why I said just wait until you're at the maximum light level or close to maximum light level before you worry about doing anything like that. Okay? So that hopefully explains where this power level comes from. It's an average of all the pieces of gear you've got, and you want this to be as high as it possibly can be. It also, if you want to look in really fine detail, it does a couple of weird things, like it always rounds down, not up. So if you've got a load of gear that's about the same and then one piece that's higher, it won't push you to the next one, it'll always round it down. But that doesn't matter too much. Now, the big thing with this, the thing that I think causes a lot of confusion, are the caps. The idea that you will start raising this power level super fast at the beginning, so I think you'll start at like 1100 or something when you just get the free-to-play version of Destiny. And then when you start doing stuff, you'll be constantly getting gear, the level will be constantly going up, and at some point it will stop going up. And that point is 1270. So up until you've got your light level to 1270, you can literally do whatever you want in Destiny, and you will be getting gear that's better than the gear you currently have. Like, not consistently, it's like a chance thing, but most drops will be better. Even rubbish stuff that you find, even like blues and white items that you find, will be better. So you'll just find stuff on the ground, and you'll be able to just put that on and increase your power level. Once you get to 1270 though, that's what we call a soft cap. That will stop happening. So items that just drop normally won't be higher level than the things that you already have, which is kind of frustrating. So now you'll suddenly be like, oh, well, I can't just be going through the campaign, or I can't just be doing patrols and stuff like that because I'm not getting any better gear. Now, the way to get past that is you have to start getting powerful engrams or better. So there's these special types of engrams, there's powerful, prime, and pinnacle engrams, which are better than the stuff that you have already when you're at the soft cap. So to get powerful engrams, there's a few different ways to do it. To get pinnacle engrams, there's less ways to do it, and we'll talk through both of those. To get prime engrams, they just drop sometimes. That's just a random drop. I think I've got one now. So that's a prime engram, and you can see that power level is actually 1323. That's because I'm past a cap that's further. But that could be something that would drop that would be better than stuff you have. And you'll know when you've got one because you actually have to go over to this guy over here in order to decrypt it. So you'll go over to him, interact with him, and then he'll show you, okay, this is the prime engram that you've got, and then you just click on it and it'll give you an item. So I just got the deicide. It's a kind of a cool word. Now, to get your powerful engrams, which are the ones that you're going to want in order to level up when you hit that 1270, once you're up to 1270 or beyond, there's a few different ways to do it. One of the really, really easy ways is to go to people like Zavala, if you just speak to him, and you'll see that every week for you, he'll have a bunch of these bounties. Now, these bounties will refresh, so you can complete them, and then you can constantly get more from this, or every day you'll get a new set of them, so you can just keep spending glimmer to get more and more and more of them. And once you've completed 8 for him, you will end up getting a powerful engram. So you'll end up getting an item that is better than the stuff that you already have. Now, you can do this for loads of people. Zavala is the guy that you want to speak to if you want to get stuff from doing strikes. So if you like doing PvE content, you can speak to him and you'll get bounties that are for strikes. So if I look at the bounties he's got right now, he's got things like The first one is defeat multiple enemies at the time with your super. So you just have to get 2 multi-kills with a super, which is insanely easy. You could easily do that in one strike, and then that will complete that bounty. And you'll get a bunch of experience from it as well, which will be leveling up your artifact. And then, you know, things like defeat enemies with your super. So you could do both of those in one go. Get solar kills in a strike. If you use the solar super, you could do all 3 of those in one go. Defeat combatants with your finisher and strikes. You only have to do 5, so you just have to kill 5 enemies with your finisher. So a lot of these bounties are often incredibly easy. And that means like doing 8 of them, even though that sounds like a lot. Often you can do that in 1 or 2 strikes. You'd be able to complete all of them. Now, if you don't want to do strikes, or you've already done his, and you can do loads of these. So if you've already done his for your week, and the reset is on Tuesday, by the way. So every Tuesday you will reset, and you'll be able to do this again. If you want to do stuff in Crucible, so PvE, you just come over here and talk to Lord Shax. Some of these are a little bit trickier, because obviously you're playing against other real players, and you can see I've already done all of these ones, so I can't do them again. But like that one, just defeat 10 opponents. That one, you know, kill 3 with an ability, kill 1 with a super, win a showdown round, and you only have to win a round, not even a whole game. And then I could keep on clicking this, and I could get random new ones. I could just got Hunter Slayer, which means I've got to kill hunters. So again, if you do 8 of those, you will get a powerful engram. So that'll be another way of leveling up. Now, another really, really good one to get bounties from is over here. If you speak to Banshee, he gives you ones that are just based on weapons. So whatever content you're doing, including the Crucible or Vanguard strikes that you were doing before, you can do them in here, and it'll just be stuff to do with certain types of weapons. So you can just grab an auto rifle one if you're going to use an auto rifle, or sidearm one, or sword one, or soda weapon. And it's just using those particular guns. And often you'll have like a load of guns of different types anyway, so you can just keep swapping between them, especially if you're just doing strikes that are really, really easy. He will also give you engrams as you're leveling up, so you can see there, although they're normally quite low level, but you can also get like engrams for leveling all of these people up. Now, there are other bounty vendors that you can use to get more, so I'll show you where a couple of them are, just in case you want to have a look. Some of these are a little bit trickier than others, like some of them are really easy. There's also ones on the planets. I'm not going to go through all of those, but each planet will have a vendor that will be marked on your map that will give you bounties for that particular planet for doing patrols and things like that, so you can go over and do them. If you come up here, you've got Hawthorne, who will give you your clan ones, and she will actually give you some Pinnacle engrams as well for doing various things. So if you go speak to Hawthorne, you can get a different type of bounty where you can't do 8 for her because you can only do 5 per week, but this will give you different bounties of things that you can do with clanmates. So it'll be stuff like killing people in the Crucible with your clanmates, or killing people in Gambit with your clanmates, or doing a raid, or doing a nightfall, stuff like that. So she will give you loads of really good engrams, but you don't have to do 8 bounties for her. Then if you come all the way downstairs, I can show you where you can get the Gambit ones. And now, when you're leveling up, when you're trying to like level up to catch up with your friends and stuff like that, you should really be doing all of these every week. Like, if you can. Obviously, you know, it's the nature of Destiny. This stuff is happening every week, so if you fall behind one week, it doesn't matter. It'll just be waiting for you there the next week. But you should, if you're trying to like be as efficient as possible, you should always like start off on Tuesday when you get your reset, come and do these bounties, try and level all of this stuff up. So you can go speak to the Drifter. This is the guy that will give you the Gambit one, so same deal. Just get a load of Gambit bounties, and then you can do 8 of those, and you will get a piece of gear, a piece of powerful gear that's better than what you've got. Now, that's not the only way to get powerful gear. That's not the only way to get upgrades. Another way of doing it is if you go up to the Director, you'll see you've got these like little gold icons around different things, and you will have one for Legends and you'll have one for Gambit as well if you've just started. Now, each of these means there's something you can do that will get you a powerful or better engram. So if you go onto Crucible, you can see I don't have it for the normal ones because I've already done it, but every week you can just complete 3 different Crucible matches and you'll get a Pinnacle engram, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. Or in Survival, you can get 7-1 rounds. You have to win those ones, you don't just have to play them, and you will get a piece of powerful gear. So that's something else you can do. Or if you go to Vanguard, you can get it for doing Vanguard strikes, you can get Pinnacle gear, or you can do a Grandmaster Nightfall when that opens, like October 5th, though that's super hard and you can't do that till you're at high level anyway. or a Nightfall, but again, you need to be sort of 1250 before you're doing Nightfalls, really, and you'll get some powerful gear just for completing it. And then once you get high scores and stuff like that, you'll actually get Pinnacle gear as well. You also get one for doing Gambit, for doing 3 matches of Gambit, and you get one for doing the current raid, which you need to be 1300 to get to. So those are all different ways of doing it. There's still more, so like you can see other things going on. You can see if you do, like, this is an old raid, which you only need to be 1220 to do Deepstone Crypt. So if you've got a group of friends or you've got a clan that's willing to take for a raid, even the old raids that have really low light level requirements, you still get powerful gear from doing those, although obviously they take a lot of time to do. Similarly, if you go to Dreaming City, you can see if you do Astral Alignment, the chests that you open at the end of Astral Alignment, which is a really, really easy activity that you need to be 1250 to do, you'll end up getting some powerful gear once you've opened 6 of those chests. Which that actually does take a little while, but it's a super easy activity if you want to do it. And you need to do a bunch of it to get the new exotic weapons. It's worth doing. Now, say you've done all of that. So you've been going from 1270 and you've been doing all of your powerful engrams. You've been getting powerful engrams left, right, and center. You can also get, some good drops from doing Crucible sometimes or Gambit. You'll get decent stuff. You've done all of that, and then you hit 1320, which is where I'm at. I'm at 1322, remember, for my gear score. So you get to 1320. Then suddenly you'll realize that all of the powerful drops don't matter anymore because they're all giving you stuff that's worse than the stuff you had before. You can still use it to get like new legendaries, try and get different rolls on weapons and things like that, but all of the gear you get will be worse than the gear that you already have on. Now, in order to get from 1320 to 1330, which is like getting onto that next bit, getting onto the like proper cap of light level before you just have to rely on your artifact, you now have to do Pinnacles. Now, Pinnacles are much harder, and there's only a few places you can get Pinnacle engrams from. So to get Pinnacle engrams, the bounties and stuff don't matter anymore. Instead, you have to do, in Crucible, you have to do 3 matches a week, and it'll come up here. I've already done them for this week, but it'll say that you can do 3 of the matches a week. You don't need to win, you just have to play 3 matches a week, and you'll end up getting a Pinnacle engram. In Vanguard, you can do 3 strikes. And the strikes are super easy. So you can go through the strikes really, really quickly and you'll get a Pinnacle. I haven't done mine for that week. Nightfall, like I said, you can do a Nightfall strike where you score over 100,000. When you actually go into Nightfall, you can choose the difficulty. And then you can see here, if you do like Legend or Master, you need a much higher thing. But if you're at 1320, you should be doing Legend, really. Then you'll be able to get a much higher score much easier. Like the score multiplier is much higher. So you can get Pinnacle gear doing that. Gambit, again, just do 3 matches of Gambit. You will get a Pinnacle engram. The raid, if you complete the raid, you will get Pinnacle gear. So this is the current raid, which at the moment is Vault of Glass. So if you do that, then you will also get a Pinnacle item, or you get Pinnacle items as you go. You'll get stuff that's better than the stuff that you've already got. So that's the sort of gist of what you're going to be doing every week. So up until 1270, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You'll just constantly be leveling up. From 1270, 1320, you want to be going after powerful engrams, so the best way to do that is to do all of your weeklies where you do like 3 Crucible matches, 3 strikes, 3 Gambits, etc. As well as doing loads of bounties for all the different vendors, get 8 bounties done for each vendor, which sounds like so much more than it is. As I explained, you can do it in like 1 activity for each thing a lot of the time. And since you're going to be doing 3 strikes and 3 Crucible matches and 3 Gambits anyway, you can easily get those 8 bounties done during those 3. Then once you get past 1320, you're just doing Pinnacles. And Pinnacles are much harder because, as is always the case with RNG, if, say, the best item you've got is a chest piece and that's at 1324 and everything else is at 1320, every time you get a Pinnacle, it's just going to be another bloody chest piece. That's what's happening to me. So the Pinnacle grind from 1320 to 1330 is really brutal. But to be fair, by then you can basically do all of the content in the game, so it doesn't matter too much. Like, it's not a big deal. But that's what you need to be doing. So hopefully this helps people. Hopefully this explains stuff. Let me know in the comments if you've got any more questions and I'll try my best to explain it, and hopefully there'll be some people who know way more about Destiny who can explain it to you. If you did find this useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if there's other questions that come up a lot about how to progress in Destiny or how to do things or what's the best way to do things, let me know and I will try my best to sort of do maybe some more videos or to do some streams where I explain some more things. If you want to catch me streaming Destiny, I'm sort of getting really into it. We did Vault of Glass twice this week, and we've done some Crucible and stuff like that. Check me out on twitch.tv/Geeky Pastimes. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.